Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Danny Gobby Gymnasium, home of the Chapmanville Tigers, as they get set to defend their Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament crown as they face off against the Mount View Golden Knights here in the semifinals. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush here with you. David Anderson back in the WVOW studios. Joe Mounts with us here on Video Productions. And Nathan, we were doing the first game on Video Productions between Beth Haven Christian and Woodland Hills, the Wolverines out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and one of the nuttiest, craziest games you're going to see. Again, Beth Haven led by 25 at the start of the third quarter and saw it get down as low as 2 as Woodland Hills literally just ran out of time in that game, or else they may have been able to pull off that 25-point comeback.
Yeah, Woodland Hills ran out of timeouts. If they'd have had some timeouts left, Chris, who knows how that game might have ended, but what a ball game it was. And Beth Haven fans, you can hear them at home right now. Their defibrillators just cleared, so they're good. But Beth Haven moves on to the championship game tomorrow. They will play the winner of this ball game between Mount View and the Chapmanville Tigers. Chapmanville coming off a huge tournament last week. The Country Roads Classic brought to you by Phenom Hoops Report, where they won 2 huge games against ISA Osborne, and they ended up beating Miller, Virginia, in the last game of the tournament in an absolute classic ball game. And we're going to have a good one tonight as Chapmanville looks to defend their holiday tournament crown. And
again, they trailed by 9 against ISA Academy in the first, came back and won by 9, and then trailed by 12 at the end of the first quarter against Miller, Virginia, the team that won the Virginia State title in 2018, and came back to beat them 64-61. Chapmanville hasn't lost at home since 2017 in a double overtime thriller against Mingo Central. The year Jeremy Dillon and company got to the state semis, Chapmanville lost in the state finals to Fairmont Senior, and Chapmanville also looking for their 50th straight win against a West Virginia team, as they haven't lost to a West Virginia school since Fairmont Senior in the 2017 state championship game. Well, we'll step aside for a 60-second break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about tonight's matchup between the Tigers and the Golden Knights, as you are watching and listening live here from the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
I'm Tanya Crubb, Director of Acute Inpatient Rehab, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wright, Surgical Podiatrist from Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
I'm Romel Mitchell, Executive Secretary, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Thank you for trusting your care at
Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Peyton, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide helps protect everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
Welcome back, everybody. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush here with you as the 3-1 Chapmanville Tigers getting set to do battle with the 1-3 Mount View Golden Knights. And it's time now for our Logan Regional Medical Center keys to the game. And Nathan, again, Chapmanville comes in here the overwhelming favorite against Mount View. But again, Mount View coached by Gary Brown. We've seen them do a lot of damage in years past in this tournament. You know, they advanced far, got into the finals a couple of times as well. How does Chapmanville come in here and not have a letdown game after those 2 huge wins last week?
Don't look ahead. Focus on the task at hand, and that's winning this game before you go in tomorrow to play Beth Haven Christian. They have to not turn the ball over, Chris, and they just have to play Chapmanville Tiger basketball. If they can do that, they'll be fine.
Well, those are your Logan Regional Medical Center keys to the game, and the key to your health care is with Logan Regional Medical Center, offering care for every stage of life, from the Women's Center to pediatrics and primary care physicians. Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you. Well, we'll step aside for our final pregame break, and when we come back, it'll be time for tip-off here from Danny Gobby Gymnasium as the Chapmanville Tigers set to take on the Mount View Golden Knights. You're watching and listening live with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Kinzel Law Office is a local firm located at 36 Adams Street in Chapmanville. Rob Kinzel has been practicing law in Logan County for over 15 years and is dedicated to providing quality legal representation for personal injury, criminal defense, and family law for individuals and families throughout Southern West Virginia. Call Kinzel Law Office today to set up your free consultation. Rob Kinzel, quality legal services close to home.
FCA has incredible impact on coaches, the teams, the players, and the community as well.
It's changed our lives. It's changed mine as a husband, as a father, and as a coach.
It does make an impact on our lives.
FCA has become a full circle in our lives.
People from all different kinds of backgrounds.
If all we're going to be is a coach that happens to be a Christian, I think it's more important to be a Christian that happens to be a coach.
As Chapmanville exits the locker room, Mount View going to momentarily, getting ready for the player introductions to get things started. Again, Chapmanville coming in here at 3-1. They lost to Christchurch Episcopal 47-38 in overtime in South Carolina, but have since then beat Nitro 99-65, beat ISA 66-57, and then beat Miller 64-61 last week. Chapmanville averaging 66.8 points per game, allowing 57.5 points per game. On the other end for Mount View, they lost to Man to open the season 58-49, lost to Independence 68-60, and lost to Princeton 62-53 before finally getting off the schneid and beating Pikeview 62-49. They're averaging 56 points per game, allowing 59.3 points per game. And they're going to be without Aaron Jackson tonight. Again, Aaron Jackson is, I believe, with family in Texas right now, I was told, and he had 18 against Pikeview. So that's going to be a big chunk of the offense missing for Mount View in this game.
Yeah, they're really going to miss him tonight, Chris, but this time of year, very important when it comes for family reasons, and there could be other reasons going on there, but this is a big game for the Tigers and for the Mount View Golden Knights. The Golden Knights look to, as I say, they're going to try to shock the West Virginia world here by beating Chapmanville at home. Chapmanville going for their 50th straight win at home, and they're going to look for production from their big three. That would be Philip Mullins, Andrew Scholl, and Obina, and Achille Killen. And Chris, Obina's coming off what I'm calling, and people may agree or may not agree, I'm calling that the best game of his career,
again,
in my opinion.
So impressive against Miller. Again, 37 points in that contest. 10 of 11 free throws in areas needed. He was 9 of 10 against ISA, so, in that tournament, 19 of 21 free throws for Obina and Achille Killen, who's committed to play at Marshall University. First team All-State the last 2 years, all-tournament team all 3 years in the state tournament. He averaged 15.2 points per game last year. Thus far this year, averaging 22.8 points per game, is the big senior. And, you get him going, then you had Andrew Scholl, who had 27 in back-to-back games against Nitro and ISA, where he had 6 3-pointers in both of those contests. Philip Mullins had 15 against ISA. Mullins and Scholl, both All-State honorable mention last year. This is a Chapmanville team. They lost a lot, but boy, do they still have a lot of firepower all the way across the board.
And one thing that Obina has done when you go back to him, he is one of those guys who is constantly working and trying to get better. And you mentioned it before, he's really improved his outside scoring, his jump shooting. He's got a good rhythm for a jump shot. He can knock down a three, and he did that several times against Miller. He's really can do about anything he wants now. He's become that kind of player that can really get the ball and make his own decisions of what he wants to do. And he's just an impressive force, and he's only gotten better over the years, and he's playing in top form right now. So Mount View is going to have an answer for Obina.
Yeah, and again, we talked about the outside shooting that he improved on again in that comeback against Miller. Again, he got hot from the outside. Again, hit 3 threes in that second quarter to really help stymie things and give Chapmanville an opportunity to get back into that ball game, and hit that buzzer-beating three-pointer in that exhibition game against the Kentucky State champions. Also to be able to start this year, that helped Chapmanville win that game by 1. So he's become more than just a down-low threat and a shot-blocking threat. This is a kid that has worked really hard on all aspects of his game, and he's starting to be able to show all that off here in the early parts of the season.
If you're going to play the next level, you've got to improve. And I'm watching him now doing one-footed fading turnaround jump shots out here on the court. And, so you got to be able to improve. But other aspects for Chapmanville, Chris, we saw it in the 2 tournament games last week. Against ISA, we really sang the praises of Hunter Jeffrey and some of the things he did as one of those supporting role players. Really found his way and did all the right things that he needed to do. And Hunter Jeffrey played great in that game against ISA. Obina was out, too. He was out with foul trouble in that game, so he did a great job. Then that second ball game, we really saw an emerging Brody Dalton. I thought Dalton stepped up, played very well, scored in some key instances there whenever Scholl and Mullins really couldn't get things going. And I really thought that Dalton did a great job in getting going for the Chapmanville Tigers. And they've got a lot of young pieces, especially Isaac Smith is a nice piece off the bench, and Chase Berry does a good job as well. So there's a lot of good pieces for this Chapmanville Tiger squad that we really don't get to talk about as much that can really hurt you as well.
Then you look at Mount View as well coming into this game, as Mount View was 7-15 last year. Again, Chapmanville's won the last 2 state titles, but Mount View finished 7-15. And 2 years ago, they were on the cusp of the state tournament again. In 2018, they got to the regional final, lost to Webster County 86-83 in overtime that year. They had a very solid ball club and almost were able to make it to Charleston. But against Chapmanville, they've just not had any success. They're 0-4 versus Chapmanville since 2013. They lost 71-37 here in the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament to Chapmanville in 2017, lost 66-57 to Chapmanville in 2016, lost 68-46 in 2014, and lost 62-33 in 2013. So an average margin of victory for Chapmanville of 23.5 points per game in those last 4 meetings between them and Mount View. As you look at the starting lineups on both sides, we'll start with Mount View, as it'll be 5'9" sophomore Brendan Rottenberry in the starting lineup, 5'11" senior Skylar Justice, 5'8" sophomore Tony Bailey, counted by 5'10" senior Zach McCoy, and rounding out the starting lineup will be 5'10" sophomore Chris Jackson for the Mount View Golden Knights. On the other end for Chapmanville, it'll be 6'9" senior Obina Anachile Killen, followed by 6'3" senior Philip Mullins. Then you have 6' senior Andrew Scholl. And then you have 6'4" junior Hunter Jeffrey getting the start tonight, who had some big minutes in that ISA game. And then 6'4" freshman Brody Dalton, who you said, Nathan, had a great game against Miller with those 9 points. We talked about how Chapmanville needed more than just the big 3 to score in those games, and Brody Dalton able to get those 9 key points. And if you can get that type of production from Preston Smith, Brody Dalton, Hunter Jeffrey in some sort of capacity as this year goes on, even with Chase Berry or Isaac Smith coming off the bench, I mean, there's going to be some interesting cogs as this year goes forward for Chapmanville. I don't think their roles have been established just yet.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chris, and you're going to see a lot of different players on different nights have big games for Chapmanville. Like I said, big 3 are going to get theirs, but where's the rest of the production going to come from? And also, if you're watching with us on Video Productions, we thank you. Video Productions also has the Logan and Woodrow game going on tonight on their feed. And right now the score, we'll try to keep you up to date with it. It's in the third quarter, about 4 minutes to go. Logan trails 34-38 in Beckley against Woodrow.
And again, we've got people getting off their holiday parties, getting home from the holidays. We've got some people playing hurt. Nathan Bush playing hurt tonight after basically spraining his ankle.
You really had to bring that up, didn't you?
Coming down off the bleachers after the first game. Again, Nathan was coming down after that and almost ended up tearing his ankle apart. But thankfully okay, as we're getting set to get started here, as the tip is controlled by Chapmanville, and we are underway. The Tigers going left to right across your computer screen and radio dial. Mount View going right to left. As Chapmanville in their all-white uniforms with orange lettering. Backdoor pass, and Obina went for the alley-oop, and the ball literally gets stuck in the on the side of the basket to get things going.
Yeah, and Obina goes up for the dunk, and that's going to be a jump ball. And
possession error will go over to Mount View here, and that'll be a 30-second timeout, it appears, with 7:48 to go here in the first quarter. We'll keep things here, but yeah, that time we've seen Chapmanville try and execute that several times now, and they've yet to be able to hit on that alley-oop pass from that side. That time they had it open, but it just got bobbled a little, and then Obina pinned it against the side of the backboard.
Yeah, he was able to stop it back there as he went up for it. You'll see it on the Video Productions replay, and just whoop, no can do, and now here comes Mount View.
And you can see Phillip and Obina both laughing about it after the fact as Mount View brings it across the timeline. First possession for the Golden Knights as Jackson gets it into the corner, back up top. Jackson with possession as Chapmanville comes out to extend their defense. Obina and Brody Dalton out in their midcourt as they feed it over to Rottenberry. Rottenberry at the top of the key. Feeds it back over to Jackson, gets into the paint. Pass knocked away by Mullins and out of bounds, and it'll go back over to Chapmanville.
Yeah, and Chapmanville there really active hands trying to force the Mount View Golden Eagles into a turnover.
Actually, Golden Knights will hang on to it.
Golden Knights, excuse me.
That's okay. We both flubbed one up there as they inbound it. Pass off the hands of a Golden Knight player and deflected by Mullins out of bounds. It'll still stay with Mount View.
And the thing with Chapmanville is they're so big and yet they extend, and they're able to keep pressure on you at all times. Very good pressure defense from the Tigers. That's really their calling card, Chris. They can score in bunches, but that defense is something else.
Bailey with the ball on the right wing, kicks it into the corner. Open three on the way. Count it from the right side for Zach McCoy, and Mount View takes a 3-0 lead.
They marked it down as a 2, so I believe they're going to only give him 2. And Chapmanville now, Mullins with the ball.
Now they get it over left side. Over to Mullins. Mullins will take a 3, and Philip Mullins able to connect for the first bucket of the game for Chapmanville.
Well, Chapmanville there, you can't leave Mullins open. If you do, he'll make you pay. He's got that outside jumper down pretty solidly this season.
Now they get it over for Jackson. He'll drive in, kicks it inside the paint. Floater on the way, and count it for Rottenberry.
Whoa!
And Rottenberry took a spill after.
Hey, I know. I resemble that Rottenberry.
Now out top for Scholl. Scholl into the center, back out to Mullins. He'll go for 3, and Philip Mullins able to connect again. He's got back-to-back threes and a 6-4 Tiger lead.
Well, Mount View is running a 2-3 zone here, and we talked earlier in the first game, Chris, about being able to shoot your way out of a 2-3 zone. Chapmanville can shoot their way out of a 2-3 zone.
Nice drive that time by Rottenberry on the right side, but can't finish. Up ahead to Brody Dalton, drives in left side, gets contact, and a blocking foul called on Mount View as Dalton unable to connect on the finish, but let's see if they send him to the line here. And it will be a block against Jackson. That'll be his first.
And it will be ball out underneath the basket here for Chapmanville.
Now they will inbound underneath their own basket. Scholl inbounds it deep to Obina. Drives in, kicks it out to Mullins. He'll try the left wing for 3, and he converts from there as well. Philip Mullins has caught fire here early with 9 points.
Nothing you can do when somebody's just hot from outside, and Mullins is right now.
9-4 Chapmanville into the left corner, being trapped. They go down low for Jackson. Tries to find some freedom, finally does so at the top of the key. They work it over for Rottenberry. Rottenberry double team. Now he's looking for help. Obina in his face, able to get it over left side. Trying to drive in. Cut off is Rottenberry. Now they get it into the corner. Bailey tries to get himself free, drives in hard. Can't finish at the rim, however, and rebounded by Scholl. Chapmanville with the ball, leading by 5 in the early going. Over to Mullins, goes for 3 again. No good. It was on line, but just short. Rebounded by Jeffrey. He goes up, and Hunter Jeffrey able to finish.
Good offensive rebound from Jeffrey, and the size of Chapmanville really taking its toll so far on Mount View underneath in the rebounding game.
Now it is 11-4 Chapmanville, and a kick ball as Bailey tried to get it by Obina, but knocked away, and now checking into the game for Chapmanville. Trying to see it is going to be number 5, Isaiah Smith, checking in, the 6'1 freshman.
Yes, Isaiah Smith, who I pronounced his name wrong again during pregame.
It's still early season. We're getting into the groove right here in December. So we're gonna make it there. Maybe by March we'll have it down as they get it over right side. Bishop kicks it out front. Open 3 on the way. Short, no good for Jackson. And now rebounded underneath, taken away by Mullins. 11-4 Chapmanville. Up ahead to Dalton. Now to Obina in the left corner. Out to Philip Mullins. Mullins, 9 of the 11 points thus far. Tried to go up and under, had it knocked out of his hands and out of bounds, so it'll stay with Chapmanville.
If you're watching on Video Productions right now, we apologize. We're having a little trouble with our scorer, our scoring monitor here as
they kick it out to Obina. He'll go for 3, no good. Knocked that away and taken away by Mount View. So here come the Golden Knights trying to cut it back to a 2-possession game, and Obina waits on Bailey and swats it away. Now up ahead to Scholl on the left side. He has to save it. Out to Mullins, drives in right side, and a blocking foul will be called here on Mount View as they're going to get it on Justice. That'll be his first.
Yeah, and that was a good drive there by Mullins to be able to force that to happen. And Mullins goes to the line to shoot 2.
Mullins looking to get into double figures and does so on the first attempt. And as we mentioned, he had 15 against ISA last week in the tournament, only had 3 against Miller. But comes out here, connects on 3 straight threes, and, kind of like Kyle Browning did whenever he was a senior here, starting to look a little bit more for his shot. Now Ian Phillips been a little bit more of a facilitator as the number 2 guard on the team, but really has been more offensive-minded here as of late last season and on into this season as he hits on both.
And that's his role. He's going to have to know his role.
And again, if you get him tuning up the offense as well as Obina and Scholl, it just creates more problems for teams. And in the backcourt, a trap sprung on Bailey, and Bailey travels with it, gives it back to Chapmanville. Tigers lead at 13-4 with 4:11 to go in the first quarter. Here from the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament, the winner will face Beth Haven in the finals tomorrow. They get it out to Scholl. He'll go for 3 from the right wing. No good and short. Rebounded underneath, taken away by Bishop.
The crazy thing about this Chapmanville team, Chris, here is you watch their defense.
And a whistle and a foul on Isaiah Smith on the push. That'll be his first.
But when you watch their defense, they trap so well and they recover so quickly. It's almost like there's 6 guys out there. Usually when you double team somebody's open. But it seems like with Chapmanville, they double and somebody's not open.
They inbound it cross court from McCoy. Then Mount View going right to left across your computer screen and radio dial. Chapmanville left to right. As Smith all over Bailey out at midcourt.
He really is.
Bailey trying to get away from him like a bad stench, but he still follows him. Now they get it over to Bishop. Now it's Dalton's turn on the defensive end. Bishop drives in, stutter steps, almost lost it, now does. Taken away by Dalton. Up ahead to Obina. Back pass for Scholl on the left side. Scholl can't find an opening. Now shovels it back down low to Obina. Turns around and hits the short jumper, and Obina may have given an elbow to Bishop accidentally there on that turnaround as Bishop took a big wallop. And looks like a timeout by Coach Gary Brown after that with 3:27 left here in the first quarter. We'll see if it's a 30 or a full timeout. It'll be a full, so we'll take it as well. Back after this as you're watching and listening to the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament with us right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
I'm the elf on the shelf, and thanks to your woodworking skills, this is about to get a whole lot less jolly. And unless these are protected by Allstate, this little mess up is going to cost you big.
Protect your portable electronics against breaks, spills, and other Yuletide mishaps with a protection plan by Allstate. Available at Walmart and Walmart.com.
Meltdown, meltdown, meltdown.
Logan Physical Therapy wants to help you. Have you been injured at work or in an accident? Come to Logan Physical Therapy and Doug Hibbs will provide a thorough, careful evaluation and create a comprehensive treatment program that will get you back on your feet. Logan Physical Therapy, turning setbacks into comebacks.
Welcome back, everybody. 15-4. Chapmanville leads Mount View. Is out of the timeout. A walk by the Golden Knights. Gives it back over to the Tigers as they lead it by 11 with 3:20 now remaining in the first quarter. As Philip Mullins has done the damage here thus far with 11 of the 13 points. Scholl, deep three, top of the key, and airballs it out of bounds, and he turns around and grimaces and smiles and looks at Coach Napper and just says, "My bad," after that. He's still smiling about it. You don't see Andrew Scholl do that very often.
No, you really don't. And Mount View now, they're going to have to find some offense in a hurry. They've actually got a few stops on Chapmanville here. Mount View's just got to score.
Pull-up jumper from the free throw line after breaking the pressure, but not there for Haggerty, who's just checked in. Now here comes Chapmanville the other way. Mullins over to Preston Smith, who's checked in. Now back out to Andrew Scholl. Over now to Smith. Isaiah Smith picks up his dribble, gets it to Scholl in the left corner. Now back out for Preston Smith. The sophomore probing, gets it over to Scholl on the left wing. Chapmanville with an 11-point lead here in the first quarter. Over to Isaiah Smith, right wing three, and Isaiah Smith able to connect for his first bucket of the game.
Big shot from Smith there as he knocked it down.
And he had a big three against Miller as well in that comeback for Chapmanville. So as we said, this younger core for Chapmanville off the bench, going to get a lot of experience, and like I said, their roles will be different as the year goes along. As Mount View breaks the pressure into the left corner, Justice, good look for a three, but no good off the back iron. Mount View, though, with the offensive rebound as they tear it away. Out front, Bailey drives in on Scholl. Pass deflected and stolen away by Smith. Isaiah Smith with it. Gets it over to Scholl. Scholl with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, looking for his first bucket. Puts up a floater and blocked inside. Nice defensive stop that time by McCoy.
Mountain View's done a pretty decent job, Chris, on defense. They're just struggling to score.
Now McCoy has his pocket picked by Isaiah Smith, and Scholl comes away with it. Scholl up the center of the floor. Now steps back out, gives it to Preston Smith. Preston Smith fakes a pass. Now he'll go for three and count it for him.
Everybody's on fire for Chapmanville, Chris.
5 3-pointers here in the first quarter for Chapmanville. 3 by Scholl, 1 by each Smith on the floor right now, Preston and Isaiah. Now here comes a spin move. It looked like a travel, and it was. Yeah, that time Bishop spun in the paint, but then double-stepped on the way in, and that'll be an easy call.
Yeah, that's a definite travel there, Chris. 21-4 now, Chapmanville leads with 1:21 to go. And you'll take a look here on the video productions replay, the shot from Smith, and nailed it.
As we said, if you're going to get that type of production off the bench crew, I mean, it's going to be very difficult for teams to slow this Chapmanville club down here in West Virginia play, as Isaiah Smith goes for another three. This one off the back iron and hits the top of the basket support. Because, again, Chapmanville's been beating academies and other state champions and everything else. So, again, it's going to be a big task for a lot of these West Virginia schools this year going up against Chapmanville, trying to prevent a three-peat again. No county team's ever done it in Logan County. Chapmanville looking to be the first to do it in any sport. Pull-up jumper on the other end, no good, as Bishop got a good look at it, but once again, Mountain View can't finish. This rebound taken away by Chapmanville. Scholl inside the paint on the left side, pull-up jumper, and there's his first two on the soft touch.
Nice shot from Scholl, and he probably felt good to get that one to go. He hasn't scored in this game yet, and Smith tried to get the foul there, nothing doing.
Pass inside, deflected by Dalton, but it still finds Bishop. Turnaround shot, can't bank it in, gets his own rebound, though, and Bishop goes back up and able to finish.
You know, Bishop's a great player, Chris. We've watched him for years, both playing against Chapmanville and against Man. He's done a great job in his high school career.
Scholl gets a screen over to the right side. Three on the way, in and out, no good, but rebounded by Preston Smith. Under 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. Back out to Scholl, free throw line for Brody Dalton. Turnaround jumper, and Brody Dalton, he gets in on the act, his first bucket.
Chapmanville now on pace to score 100.
Down to 10 seconds. Pass up ahead, deflected by Dalton, stolen away. Down to 4 seconds. Scholl, bounce pass underneath. What a look to Berry, but blocked out of bounds as the horn sounds. And a good job by Rottenberry preventing an extra bucket. But Chapmanville dominates in the first 8 minutes of play as they lead at 25-6 heading into quarter number 2. Back after this as you are watching and listening to Chapmanville basketball action here live from the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on video production.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider, offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They are the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, Logan, and Mingo counties with its own crematory. For more information, contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
Hey, how's it going?
It's war on the roads. Bumps, scrapes, and ouch, wrecks.
That's gotta hurt. What about car insurance?
Lots of promises and very little payout.
The insurance company just wants to save money. You should get paid when you're injured, including your pain and suffering. And we win for you, or you pay us nothing.
What do you think, gang? Yeah!
Call Farmer Klein and Campbell, because around here, you matter.
Farmer Klein and Campbell is the way to go. Call 34659.
Start of quarter number 2 here from Danny Gobby Gymnasium. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush here with you from the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament. Chapmanville looking to advance to the finals and leading at 25-6 after the first quarter. Out front. Mullins goes inside, pass taken away. Now here comes Mountain View in transition. Up at Bailey, gets free as he lets Mullins fly by, and Bailey lays it in for his first 2.
And what you're getting here, Chris, is you're going to get a look at a lot of different rotations for this Chapmanville squad. Good screen from Barry.
And Barry able to flatten his man at midcourt as Obina gets it at the top of the key. Back to Mullins. He started hot and can't get this one to go as it rims out. Rebounded underneath by McCoy.
Give Chapmanville credit. They battle underneath. You had 2 guys underneath trying to get that rebound.
Now Bailey stutter steps, gets in the paint, lost it, and travels with it as it looks like Isaac Butcher The 6'3 sophomore is in the game, got a little piece of that and was able to cause some disruption. Colton Craddock into the game as well for Chapmanville.
We got a quick score update, 4 minutes to go. Woodrow leads Logan 58-53 at the Armory.
Again, halfway through that fourth quarter, so we'll keep an eye on that old rivalry game taking place in Beckley tonight.
I don't think they're going to break that 112-110 mark back in 1990.
Yeah, those 1990 games were insane in the regular season at least. As Mullins gets it out for Chase Berry on the left wing, now top of the key. Inside the paint, trying to find an opening, not much there, and taken away from Isaac Butcher. Now Chapmanville fighting for it back, Butcher on the ground with it, and they're going to say he was out of bounds as he tried to wrestle the ball free.
Well, Coach Napper's got to be happy that he's getting to play some of his reserves here a little bit early in kind of a different rotation, use a few different guys. Well, I don't know if I want to be Butcher right now with that look.
Oh, boy. Yeah, Butcher just tried to walk by inconspicuously, and Brad Napper stared him down the entire way as he went to the bench.
I don't think I've gotten a look like that from anybody. Yeah. My goodness.
I was going to say, man, that was one of those like your mother or your father would give you back in the day after you messed up and you tried to not look at anybody.
An ex-girlfriend or something. That was rough looking. That made me feel uneasy.
And he calmly walked over and let Butcher know what the issue was after the fact. But, yeah, Butcher did the right thing there. Just don't make eye contact and move on. 25-8 Chapmanville. Mountview with the ball and stepping on the sideline and out of bounds is Jason Haggerty, so that'll give it back over to the Tigers with 6:23 to go before halftime.
This pressure defense by Chapmanville is just insane, and they're doing it, Chris, with, you got a few extra guys in there that usually don't see a lot of playing time in close ball games, but they're doing a good job here.
Colton Craddock, he connects from the outside as he hits a mid-range jumper for his first bucket, 27-8 Chapmanville. As full court pressure still being applied, Haggerty in the backcourt lobs it up ahead and caught by Rottenberry. Finds McCoy on the right baseline. Back out front as Bailey walks with it. Again, looked like a nice jab step at first, but he picked up his pivot foot.
Yeah, and Bailey's not happy with the call. He's been called a few times for walking, and he's really not happy with the call so far.
Now that'll bring Chris Jackson back into the game as that'll send Bailey to the bench. Chapmanville leads it by 19 with just under 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Looking for their 50th straight win over a West Virginia team as Obina step back three from the left corner, no good. Barry gets the rebound, kicks it back out front for Trey Butcher. Now back to Barry, over right side. Craddock, nice ball movement. Mullins into the corner, three on the way, no good by Butcher, but Obina gets the rebound back, can't put it in, gets his own rebound again as he steps out and three-point land on the left side, gets it over to the free throw line, now to Craddock, caught in midair, back to Obina in the left corner. Obina goes in on the drive this time, contact but nothing called, rebounded by Mullins, and now we got a whistle and a foul underneath.
What a possession there. And Coach Napper's telling Obina, hey, shoot. Go ahead, shoot. Let him knock down some shots.
We're going to get that on Skylar Justice, his second, as Mullins will go to the line. He's got 11 points thus far. Make it 12 as he converts on the first. But just a reminder that Nationwide Insurance agent Greg Dalton is a proud supporter of Chapmanville Regional Athletics and the community of Logan County. For auto, home, life, and business insurance, call the Greg Dalton Agency at 304-855-4906. Greg Dalton Insurance with offices on Main Street in Chapmanville and Main Street in Logan. For all your sides, there is Nationwide. This is WVOW Logan.
Got a foul on Barry there after the missed free throw.
So Mullins splits the free throws, one of two, but it's still a 20-point lead for Chapmanville. Here's still about 5.5 to go before the half. And Obina, what a save on the steal attempt. Knocked out of bounds, but last touch by Mullins.
Well, Obina made the save and immediately took off running down the court. He felt the need to get on a highlight reel there. And if the ball would have stayed in bounds, he probably would have been.
Checking back in is Bailey, and Jackson will go back to the bench for Mountview.
You got to give this Mountview team credit. They're heavy underdogs in this ball game, but they like to play here and play this Chapmanville squad every year. They really try to use this as a learning technique, a learning tool to get better.
Driving in Rottenberry and contact. They're going to say a blocking foul against Chapmanville, as that's going to go against Trey Butcher, the 6'1 freshman. And I agree. I mean, the fact you come here, it does give your program and your team a good look. You get to play the two-time state champions. I mean, this type of competition you want. And
Mountview is a single-A school, so they come in heavy underdogs. But you only get better by playing people that are better than you, which is the Chapmanville mentality, the Logan mentality, the man mentality. It's really the way you do it, because Chapmanville's playing these schools from out of state. They're playing these prep schools. Mount View's playing the best team in the state, arguably. So it's only a way to get better.
Rottenberry hit the first but couldn't convert on the second. That's Chapmanville with the ball, leading by 19, looking for more as Butcher's 3 off the mark from the right side, rebounded by Rottenberry.
I'll tell you what, Chris, come next season, though, we're going to have to do a breakdown show just to kind of talk about what's going on with the new classifications next year. That's going to where things are going to get interesting.
Oh, you're not kidding again. It's going to be a confusing setup, but we'll figure it out as we go along. As driving in is Bailey, tries to kick it into the right corner, but out of bounds as Justice couldn't hang on to it, and that'll give it back to the Tigers.
Quick check for Logan, 2:33 to go. Logan still trails 62-57. They just cannot crack that 5-point lead that Woodrow has right now.
Mullins, top of the key 3, no good off the back iron. Now a chance for Mountain View as they run out. Here comes Bailey and driving in, and no good as Obina slapped the backboard. Mountain View wanted goaltending but didn't get it.
That's a call that for years has been debated. I think it should be goaltending, but by the rules, and by the way the rule is written, that is not goaltending.
Now we got a blocking foul on the baseline on the other end. Is Chapmanville going to bring in wholesale changes here as Scholl and both Smiths, Preston and Isaiah, will check in.
A lot of your guys that play a lot of starter minutes, Butcher and Barry and Craddock check out. There's almost a line change there for Coach Napper.
We have 4:01 to go here in the first half. Chapmanville leading at 28-9 as Chapmanville got a little cold here in the second quarter. Only 3 points thus far, and Isaiah Smith tries to change that, misses a 3 from the right side. Obina gets the long rebound, goes behind his back, pull-up jumper over the rim, no good. But there's Philip Mullins on the other side with a rebound as he'll pull things out. Cross-court pass, Scholl, open 3 from the right wing, and Andrew Scholl buries a 3, his first of the game.
Scholl with a big shot there to knock that one down and extend this Chapmanville lead.
31-9 Chapmanville. As pass out front, almost got away. Rottenberry goes up and under against Obina and gets it to go. What a move by Brendan Rottenberry.
I'll tell you what, put that on his mixtape. That was nice move from Rottenberry to get that one.
Yeah, that's one of those you tell the grandkids one day about.
Nothing rotten about that.
As Preston Smith loses the ball off his knee and taken away by Mountain View. Here's Rottenberry into the front court. 31-11, Chapmanville leads it. Closing in on 3 minutes to go in the first half. Pass tried to find McCoy, but errant throw by Haggerty that time and out of bounds.
31-11 now, Chapmanville leads.
As checking in for Chapmanville, you have Isaiah Fleming, 5'7" junior, getting his first action here tonight.
And now Woodrow is up 66-57 on Logan with under 2 minutes to go. So Woodrow looking to hold off the Wildcats in a very competitive game from what we've got to see so far tonight here on Video Productions.
They get it over to Philip Mullins on the right wing. Now into the right corner. 3 up by Isaiah Smith. No good, too strong, and rebounded by Rottenberry. Rottenberry brings it up. Scholl and Mullins converge on him. Now cross-court pass. Gets to Jackson, now over to McCoy, 3 from the left corner, no good. Rebounded by Mullins on the far side. Mullins runs it into the front court. He tried to shovel it over to Obina and out of bounds. As Chapmanville's gotten sloppy here in the second quarter.
You said that, and I agree. They're playing this Mount View team that's big underdogs, but Chris, they have not been impressive in terms of the second quarter. A little sloppy here and there, and not knocking down a lot of their jump shots that are open. And this team looks a little, I don't want to say tired, maybe a holiday hangover, I should say. Not a literal hangover, but you know what I mean.
Yes, as McCoy trapped right in front of the Chapmanville bench, has to throw it off of Scholl and out of bounds, stays with Mount View. But I think this will be part of what Chapmanville runs into some this year against some of the West Virginia schools they face. Again, they've played against some of the best competition from around the region in this country. As Obina goes up and one hand snags a block away, and now McCoy steals it back from Mountain View. But what a block. Obina didn't even swat it away. He just grabbed it out of the air and brought it down as they kick it back out. Mountain View with the ball, almost to travel that time, but taken back by Faulkner, and they kick it out. 3 on the way, no good. Now here's a chance for Chapmanville to run. As Scholl up the left side, lobs it up to Obina. Can't get it to go. He got a little too far underneath the basket that time as they tried to get that lob again. Now here's Rottenberry back into the left corner, cut off, shovels it underneath, up for Bailey, and can't convert, but let's see, travel, I believe, underneath.
There's a lot of travels they've called tonight.
And Bailey can't believe it. He thought he got fouled. But again, 31-11 Chapmanville. But as I was saying there, again, Chapmanville, they're going to run into a lot of these instances where they're just going to be overpowering some teams throughout the season. Again, not every team. Obviously, you're going to run into a lot of good West Virginia teams.
I'm
but there's
looking
going to be
forward.
some. And this Mount View team's young. They're getting better. But, they're just going to run into a lot of this year. So how do you sustain that as Isaiah Fleming misses on a three? But Obina gets back. And we'll get to your thought in just a second here as Mullins drives in. Short on the jumper. Rebound taken away by Rottenberry. Again, I know that Nathan's got a good point he wants to make here, so once we get a stoppage, we'll let him make it as Rottenberry drives in. Short jumper, no good. Rebounded by Scholl with 1:15 to go in the half. Scholl up the center, lobs at Obina. And this time they connect as Obina hammers it home as they've tried all half and they finally get it as Scholl feeds it to the big man for his fourth point.
That was a beautiful take by Obina to get to the rim.
Now another chance off a steal. Smith over to Mullins, bounce off the backboard, and Obina slams it home again. Oh, it's highlight central time here at Danny Gobby Gymnasium as Mullins saw Obina coming from behind, and Obina took it off the backboard and throws it down. Now another steal. This time taken away by Chapmanville as Fleming gets it over to Mullins, gets into the paint, puts it up, short on it, gets it back, blocked from behind by Fultner, and they whistle it in a foul with 33.9 seconds left. So now, Nathan, let's get to that point you were wanting to make about Chapmanville's schedule.
I'm just looking forward to them playing Mingo Central real soon. That was literally all I was going to say.
Yeah, we'll have that game.
We will, actually. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Chris, I believe that game is coming up real soon.
Break.
Yeah, so January the 7th, I believe. And it's here, and we're going to be looking forward to that one.
Mullins misses on the first attempt.
We've got 31-11, and Chapmanville has scored more than that. I do not feel like that score is correct on our scoreboard.
It's not. Yeah, they had 25 at the end of the first, 27, 29, 30, 33. It's 35-11. 35-11 in favor of Chapmanville right now. Again, those back-to-back dunks happened so fast that they didn't quite get it.
There we go. Hey. We got a great staff down here at Chapmanville and at Logan operating the clocks and man as well. So, hey, it's hard to keep up when you got, a highlight reel happening in front of you. So
Mullins hits on the second, and the score almost identical to what we had in the first game. It was 34-11, Beth Haven at the half.
Well, I'll tell you what, if what happens in that game happens in this game, Chris, you will see Coach Brad Napper just lose his mind.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm going to just put down the headset and get out of here immediately before a scene from Cary erupts in this gym if that were to happen. As they get it into the left corner from McCoy. He gets an open look for three, and he's able to connect with 20 seconds left here in the first half.
Good shot there from McCoy. This is a Mount View team, Chris. They're not a bad little squad coming in here, playing a very tough game, tough opponent. Looking like they're only going to be down at least 22 heading into the half.
Scholl takes it right elbow, fadeaway jumper, and Andrew Scholl connects with 1 second left in the half. Bishop won't get it off as the first half comes to an end, and Chapmanville leads it by 24 heading into intermission. Well, Nathan and I are going to step aside for a 2-minute break, and when we come back, we'll break down all of the action here in the first half from Danny Gobby Gymnasium as the Tigers lead at 38-14 over the Mount View Golden Knights. You're watching and listening to the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament with us right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
I'm Tanya Crubb, Director of Acute Inpatient Rehab, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wright, surgical podiatrist from Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
I'm Romel Mitchell, Executive Secretary, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Thank you for trusting your care at
Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
All will be merry at Thornhill Ford Lincoln during our Build for the Holidays sales event. Time to get the biggest savings with $11,600 off F-150 XLT Crew Cab starting at $34,944 and Ranger XLT up to $7,500 off starting at $29,899.
Most people think that after an accident, you'll have to pay $500 for your deductible. The truth, at Allstate, you could pay $0. Allstate gives you $100 off your deductible the day you sign up. Then another $100 off every year you don't have an accident. Let the good hands reward your safe driving with a deductible that goes away. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
Kinzel Law Office is a local firm located at 36 Adams Street in Chapmanville. Rob Kinzel has been practicing law in Logan County for over 15 years and is dedicated to providing quality legal representation for personal injury, criminal defense, and family law for individuals and families throughout southern West Virginia. Call Kinzel Law Office today to set up your free consultation. Rob Kinzel, quality legal services close to home.
The Built for the Holidays sales event is here with unbelievable deals at Thornhill Ford Lincoln. Special gifts for your special someone. 2019 Ford Mustang GT convertible up to $7,000 off, 3 to choose from, and 2019 Ford EcoSport now $18,000.
38-14, Chapmanville leads it here at the half. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush with you, with Joe Mounts, our engineer on video productions, David Anderson, our engineer back in the WVOW studios, as Chapmanville looking like they're on their way to a date in the finals of the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament.
After that first game, I will not say that. I've seen it all, Chris.
Yeah, again, if you were with us on video productions earlier, again, Beth Haven held a 34-11 halftime lead, and Woodland Hills, after trailing by 25 early in the third, were able to storm back, cut it all the way down to 2 in the final seconds, but just ran out of time as they didn't have any timeouts left and couldn't get the clock stopped after a made 3, and Beth Haven was able to hang on. And over in Beckley, the Flying Eagles knock off the Logan Wildcats.
72-64, Woodrow picks up the win over the Logan Wildcats.
And so again, tough defeat, but again, Logan improving a lot more as the year goes along right now with that young surrounding cast around David Early. So we'll see how Logan fares as we head into the new year as well. Again, they'll still have a couple of big matchups with the Chapmanville Tigers as we move forward. Let's run down the scoring here in the first half, starting with Mountain View, as they were led by Rottenberry and McCoy, each with 5 points. Then you have Bailey and Bishop with 2 points each to round out the scoring for the Golden Knights. Then on the other end for Chapmanville, a lot of balanced scoring. You had Philip Mullins leading all scorers with 13 points. Then Andrew Scholl with 7 points, followed by Obina and Achille Killen with 6 points. Preston Smith with 3 points. Isaiah Smith with 3 points. Then Brody Dalton, Hunter Jeffrey, and Colton Craddock, each with 2 points for the Tigers here in the first 16 minutes of play. So 8 Tigers getting into the scorebook. And again, a very impressive first quarter. Again, things got a little sloppy in the second quarter, but Chapmanville trying to get in a lot of reserves in this game as well, knowing that they'll have a little bit more of an opportunity to do so here. Try and get some of their younger players, their freshmen, their sophomores that are on this roster, some varsity experience, because they'll be the ones likely moving up and taking a lot of this playing time next year. So knowing that as a head coach, you have to try and work in those opportunities as much as you get them.
Yeah, and it seems like every season Chapmanville is able to do that in a big way, and the guys that step up the next year they just step in and keep going. It's almost like they don't rebuild, they reload every year, do the Tigers. And nice job tonight so far against Mountain View, but Mountain View's played tough. The only problem is they have really struggled offensively tonight. They've really had a tough go of things, but I will give credit where credit is due. This Chapmanville Tigers team, that defense is excellent, absolutely superb. It's almost like they're playing with 6 out there on defense. So the Tigers showing you why they are the number 1 team in the state.
As I said, this Chapmanville's ability to trap, and even if they break through the trap, again, once you get to the rim, there's just no opportunity with Obina there most of the time in order to find any openings. I mean, they've got so many different areas where they're going to hurt you offensively and defensively. It's going to be a tough nut to crack for any West Virginia team in this state. As we talked about, again, they've come close to losing against Fairmont and against Logan a couple of times during this run, but I mean, 50 straight wins against in-state opponents is just staggering whenever you sit down and think about it.
It really is, Chris, and you got to think that, Logan's good this year, but I don't know if they'll be able to beat Chapmanville. Of course, they always have a good game plan. Those games are always fun. And then, of course, Mingo Central, much improved. The Skyhawks are back. They played pretty well this season so far. Really, that entire section is just ridiculous. I mean, you're looking at a team like right now, the Man Hillbillies are undefeated in that section, and they're, a lot of people don't even bring them up, and I think, Man should be mentioned with how well they've played so far early in this season in some ugly games, but they're winning. Chapmanville, of course, the heavy favorites. Mingo Central favorites. Logan always in the conversation. Lincoln County you can't count out. There's really not a bad team in the entire section.
Yeah, I agree. Whenever you get down tournament time later on, I mean, we're still looking way ahead, but, I mean, you're looking at Chapmanville still being the heavy favorite, but then you're looking after Chapmanville. Going to be a real big dogfight amongst those last 5 to see who can maybe sneak in and get that other opportunity to go to the states out of this region.
Don't count Winfield down, especially if they get to host the game. I mean, it's hard to win over there in Kanawha and Putnam counties. So, you know, Joe and I last year watched Polka and take on Logan in a game that Logan was heavy favored and Polka pulled out the win. Winfield's a tough spot to try to get a game in. Nitro, you know, we saw Nitro. They're a little down this year, but they still play hard. So it's hard to count any teams out in the section or the region.
Again, Chapmanville right now, though, on their way to a 4-1 start and their 50th straight win against in-state opponents as they hold a 38-14 lead here at the half. Well, Nathan and I will step aside for a 2-minute break, and when we come back, it'll be time for the start of quarter number 3 here from Danny Gobby Gymnasium as you are listening to and watching the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
SUV season at Thornhill Mitsubishi. Serving up 0% APR for 72 months on 2019 Eclipse Cross, $20,770. $7,900 off 2019 Outlander PHEV and 2019 Outlander Sport. Wow, $15,750.
Peyton, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide helps protect everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
There's a stop sign, and he just ran right through it and hit me. It was like I wasn't even there to him.
There were no witnesses, so the other driver tried to blame Roxana.
My legs were black and blue.
We found a surveillance video from a nearby business and proved that she was right and the other driver was wrong.
The amount that I received was actually a lot more than I thought.
Roxana got paid.
They made it where you actually wanted to talk to them.
Farmer Clyde and Campbell is the way to go. Call 346-5990.
FCA has incredible impact on coaches, the teams, the players, and the community as well.
It's changed our lives. It's changed mine as a husband, as a father, and as a coach.
It does make an impact on our lives.
FCA has become a full circle in our lives.
People from all different kinds of backgrounds.
If all we're going to be is a coach that happens to be a Christian, I think it's more important to be a Christian that happens to be a coach.
It's that magical time of year, Thornhill Mitsubishi's year-end sales event with brand new Mitsubishi models for under $20,000. Get the perfect gift that's safe, reliable, and affordable. Let Thornhill Mitsubishi make it happen. Make the holidays magical. Put Thornhill Mitsubishi at the
Getting ready for the start of quarter number 3 here from Chapmanville, West Virginia. Chris Kidd here with you alongside me, Nathan Bush, as Chapmanville see how long they go with some of their starters here in the second half. Again, looking to try and take this Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament yet again this season. It looks like they're going to go back to the original starting 5 or close to it here to start quarter number 3.
Yeah, and that's not surprising. You want to get your starters in for as much as you can. See if you can improve this lead, and it looks like they're going to go back. Well, no. They got
3 of the 5.
3 of the 5 as Hunter Jeffrey's not out there, and Coach Navarro, the all-around coach, he's rolling the balls off the court. He does it all. He popped the corn.
And you know what? He's getting close to his 100th win here at Chapmanville. Again, Coach Napper's been to 5 straight state tournaments, 4 with Chapmanville, 1 with Mingo Central when he was there. He's got an 8-2 record at the state tournament.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, that'll work. And 96-18 since he's been here at Chapmanville, so that'll work too. As Mingo Central gets the opening possession going left to right across your computer screen and radio dial as McCoy misses inside the paint from about 5 feet, and rebound taken by the Tigers. Chapmanville going left to right across your computer screen and radio dial. Scholl fading to the near side, and he converts again. Almost the same shot that he hit to end the first half.
Yeah, nice jumper from Andrew Scholl. He felt good seeing that one go through.
40-14, Chapmanville in control. First 30 seconds of the third quarter gone. Rottenberry Cut off by Obina. Now he'll try the left side, but he can't get by him. Throws it over into the corner off the foot of a Golden Knight and out of bounds.
Chapmanville was out in man-to-man defense, and they're really pushing Colton Craddock. You can hear the coaching staff. They're really pushing him to do a big job there on the defensive end.
And there's a lot of talk as Obina will go for three from the right side, and there's the outside game of Obina Anachile Killen with the Scooby-Doo socks and all on tonight.
Is that what those are?
That is, it's Scooby-Doo. I had to take a look at it when he was sitting on the bench there at halftime. I was like, those are Scooby-Doo socks. So he's got 9 now for the game, 43-14. Rottenberry drives in, can't get it to fall, but fouled on the play as Brody Dalton going to be called for the push.
That defense there looked like somebody lost their man. I guess in Scooby-Doo fashion, it'd be let's split up, gang. But, yeah, Chapmanville just kind of lost a man there and had to foul to prevent the bucket.
Rottenberry's free throw rims in and out, no good. But, you talked about Colton Craddock there a little bit. You heard from some of the players and coaches, that they expect him to be someone that really steps up from the offensive end as time goes on, as Rottenberry misses both free throws. But they said he can score in bunches for Chapmanville, did so in JV in some games last year. So he's someone to watch as things go forward as a travel on Chapmanville.
Smith got called for the travel, and he looked over at Coach Nabber and was like, what? And Nabber just went, that's a travel. Can't do that.
43-14 Chapmanville, 6:43 to go in the third quarter. It's Jackson out front for Rottenberry, guarded by Dalton. Cross-court pass knocked away by Obina and out of bounds as he had visions of coast-to-coast on that one, but goes out of bounds instead.
Yeah, and next year with Obina gone, Chris, who's going to be the guy that puts on that dunk show that the Chapmanville crowd has gotten used to over the past few years?
I'm going to say we're going to have to get Brody Dalton some leaping ability here in the offseason, as shot over the rim, no good. Rebound taken away by the Tigers. As here comes Scholl into the front court. He'll stop, pop a three straight on, no good off the front iron. Rebound saved underneath and saved the Colton Craddock. Nice job by Preston Smith. Pass back out front for Scholl. Over to Obina. He'll try a three from the left side, and that one too strong. He thought he had it. He was going back up court. And now Obina and Scholl, neither one of them went after the rebound, and Jackson takes it instead, and he'll go coast to coast for the lay-in. Let's see if they say N1 on this. I haven't seen a signal yet. Yes, count the basket, so an N1 chance.
It's on Obina.
And just that insult to injury on that sequence for Chapmanville.
Yeah. Scholl and Obina both had a break on the ball for the rebound, and both stopped thinking the other was going to get the rebound.
Well, they counted the basket, and Mount View's going to get it out underneath. So I guess that was
there a foul after the basket?
I suppose so. That's the way they're ruling this.
Okay.
They lob it into the backcourt for Bishop as he'll make the catch against Smith. Now he drives in on Preston Smith on the right side, hands it off. Bailey up against Preston Smith now as they switch. Bailey gets it into the right corner for Rottenberry, drives into the center, tough left-handed shot, and a blocking foul call.
Wow, that was a late whistle. I was looking down the court at the ball coming back. That official blew that whistle late. Not saying he's wrong on the call, just kind of came late.
So that'll put Rottenberry at the free throw line. Rottenberry tonight with 5 points. 1 of 4 from the line, however. Make it 1 of 5 as he misses on this one.
And again, if you're just tuning in, Logan fell to Woodrow Wilson earlier. 72-64 the final as the Wildcats come up short.
Second free throw off the mark as well. Rebounded by Obina. 5:45 to go in the third.
Again, you get the first look at the Wildcats coming up on January 4th here on WVOW as they'll be taking on the Man Hillbillies in man.
That'll be an interesting matchup.
I'm interested to see that one.
Preston Smith, left wing. He'll take a three, and he converts on it. His second three of the game for the 5'11 sophomore.
That's a big shot.
Lead up to 30 now for Chapmanville at 46-16. 5:20 left in the third. McCoy, right side, goes into the corner. Obina knocks it away, and they're going to say last touch by Justice, so a good deflection by Obina that time.
I couldn't even tell if Obina even touched it. It looked like it just went out. I assume he touched it, but I couldn't really tell. And Scholl bringing the ball back up the court now.
Scholl gives it over to Colton Craddock, now to Preston Smith. Smith back up top for Scholl. Scholl into the center, drives in, floater on the way, leaves it short, but Brody Dalton tries to save it, but he stepped out of bounds with 5:01 left here in the third. And think Philip Mullins, he may be done for the evening. He put on his warm-up shirt coming out of the locker room, so I think Philip has maybe decided that could be enough tonight for him after he had that strong start to the first quarter, as long three off the mark for Justice, rebounded by Obina. Up ahead, Preston Smith behind everybody, gives it back to Craddock. Blocked on the way in, but fouled as Bailey recovered in time to try and contest, but ended up fouling on the way up.
That was a hard foul there as Craddock went up, and luckily nothing vicious or anything. It just looked like a hard contact there.
They've got Craddock at the line to shoot two. He's got 2 points in the game thus far. First free throw up and nails it.
Craddock knocks down that free throw, and free throw shooting, Chris, we saw last week. Scholl struggled a little bit from the line in that tournament last week, where, as you talked about earlier, Obina really just dominated shooting free throws last week.
Now Liam Fultner, 6'6" senior, back into the game for Mount View. Craddock connects on both free throws. He's got 4 points in the lead up to 32 for Chapmanville. Down to 4:45 left in the third quarter. Chapmanville well on their way to a championship game matchup with Beth Haven Christian tomorrow night, as Beth Haven's still here watching. And again, you got some players that were on Logan, were on Man, that are on Beth Haven, so you're going to hear some local names tomorrow night with us here on WVOW. His three is missed off the mark. Up ahead, Preston Smith tried to find Obina, but overthrows him and out of bounds.
Yeah, and tomorrow night sounds like, Beth Haven and Chapmanville. That'll be a fun contest to see. I know Peyton Adams and Devontae Adams. Peyton Adams plays for Man, forgive me. Spalding twins, and you said Philip Mullins wasn't coming back, but there he is, Chris, checking in.
Yeah, they're going to bring in a whole new five at the next one as Isaiah Fleming tries to take out our table as he checks in. As that turnaround by Fultner, off the mark, no good. Rebounded by Obina. He dribbles it over, gives it to Preston Smith for three, no good from the corner. Rebound fought for underneath, taken away by Rottenberry. Rottenberry up against Craddock, goes up ahead for Bailey. Bailey up the right side. Nice dish for McCoy, but he's fouled from behind by Craddock, as you'll get Fleming, Isaiah Smith, Hunter Jeffrey, Philip Mullins, and Chase Berry checking in at the next whistle for Chapmanville, and everyone on the court will head to the bench.
Well, Smith's still standing down there. You got to have at least, you got to have two men down there, so makes sense. Before the line change here.
McCoy at the line. He's got 5 points thus far. First free throw up and good.
And here comes the cavalry.
And so everyone checking out and everyone else checking in as Brad Napper trying to get enough playing time for everyone here in this game, as Chapmanville leading it by 31.
And also getting different looks at lineups here. So this is guys who may not get to play together very often and seeing how they gel. That's an important aspect here and a good learning tool from Coach Napper.
And again, sometimes people, they look at these just kind of throwaway situations. They most definitely are not.
Oh, no. This is a very big time for these young players especially.
So Isaiah Smith goes for three from the left wing. No good. Short with it. Rebounded by Mount View. Up ahead. Find Rottenberry on the left side. And Rottenberry able to finish in front of Hunter Jeffrey. So Rottenberry now with 7 points. 48-20. Chapmanville leads it. Mullins behind his back. Going up against Bailey. Mullins kicks it over to Isaiah Smith. Smith picks up his dribble, back out to Mullins, spins away, gets to the right elbow, pull-up jumper, and Philip Mullins continues his hot night. He's got 15 points now and had 11 of those in the first quarter. 50-20, nice dish underneath. Fultner couldn't finish, but it fouled from behind.
Another kind of late whistle there from the officials. I'm not saying there wasn't a foul, but kind of seems like the officials are looking at it saying if the ball doesn't go in, we'll call the foul kind of thing.
Now Fultner will go to the free throw line. His first attempt off the back iron and falls down and through.
And a lucky roll there, and timeout Mount View, full timeout.
So with 2:58 left here in the third quarter, Chapmanville leads at 50-21. We'll be back after this as you are watching and listening to Chapmanville Tiger basketball action right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider, offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They are the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, Logan, and Mingo counties with its own crematory. For more information, contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
Logan Physical Therapy wants to help you. Have you been injured at work or in an accident? Come to Logan Physical Therapy and Doug Hibbs will provide a thorough, careful evaluation and create a comprehensive treatment program that will get you back on your feet. Logan Physical Therapy, turning setbacks into comebacks.
50-21 here as we come back from break. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush with you here on WVOW and on Video Productions as the winner moves on to the championship game against Beth Haven Christian tomorrow night. Loser will take on Woodland Hills, who nearly completed a 25-point comeback in the first game as Faulkner misses on the second free throw and Chase Berry on the rebound.
You know, the Woodland Hills game, Chris, that one was a fun one.
Yeah, that game was absolutely insane as Smith passed down low, taken away by McCoy. So here comes Mountain View into the front court. Trailing by 29, McCoy almost traveled. Gives it over to Bailey on the right wing. Bailey drives in baseline, dumps it off to Faulkner, turn around in the paint, no good over the rim, rebounded by Mullins, up ahead to Isaiah Smith. Smith back to Mullins. Mullins stutter steps, gets inside the paint, dishes it out for Fleming. Fleming back out top for Berry, now to Mullins, open three, top of the key, counted again for Phillip Mullins. He's had the touch here tonight, 18 points for the senior.
Yeah, what a night he's had tonight, Chris. And one thing some of the Chapmanville, the younger talent for Chapmanville doing, they're not paying attention. They don't have their heads on a swivel waiting for the ball. They're just kind of running down court when they should be running, trying to fast break.
Rottenberry gets in on the left side, too strong on the layup attempt, rebounded by Chapmanville. Over to Berry. He'll take a three from the left side, misses, but there it goes to Hunter Jeffrey, and he'll finish on the right side and one for the 6'4 junior.
Big fella underneath doing work and getting underneath, rebounding, boxing out, putting the ball back up. And, you know, last week, Chris, on the Hatcher Show, we talked about Hunter Jeffrey with Coach Napper, and he really had great things to say about him. But he said great things about even some more of those reserve, maybe not reserve players I should call them, but those players that aren't Phillip Mullins, Andrew Scholl, and Obina Killen. So, yeah, a lot of good things to say about him.
Jeffrey had 11 against Nitro earlier this season, so he's been able to come in and put up some big production as he hits the free throw as well. He's got 5 points here tonight, but yeah, played some big minutes against ISA in that comeback.
Absolutely, had a 7-foot center that he was having to guard, and he did a great job.
Now trapped over on the right side as Jackson has it ripped away from him by Isaiah Smith. Now up ahead to Mullins, 2-on-1, over to Jeffrey. His layup is good, and Hunter Jeffrey now with 7 points. As Chapmanville running away with it here, 58-21 with 90 seconds left in the third.
Program update, there will be no Hatcher Show tomorrow. Taking this week off, and we'll be back next Saturday.
Out left side for three by McCoy, off the back iron, rebounded by Mullins. Mullins pushes it up the center of the floor, kicks it over to Fleming. Isaiah Fleming, the junior, three on the way, short, rebounded underneath by Jeffrey, over to Chase Berry, and there's the quarterback's first two of the game. As Berry able to finish on the right side, 60-21. And, you know, Berry played basketball in middle school and all through that, but hadn't played in high school. And after football season this year, you know, quarterback the last couple of years for Chapmanville on the varsity squad. A lot of his friends talked him into coming out and playing this year for Chapmanville. And, you know, it seems like he's been a good fit. I tell you what, though, in preseason, all of them were getting banged up. You had Scholl that got injured. You had Berry that got injured. You had 4 or 5 of the Tigers. I think Phillip Mullins took a black eye. I mean, practices were really rough on these guys. A lot of the parents were like, are they going to make it to the season or not this year?
Part of it. It's earning your stripes. See, Tiger stripes, earning them.
There
like
we go.
You're welcome.
There's Isaiah Fleming with it. Left side, pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound up, and they're going to say foul on Jeffrey as he went over the back that time. So still 60-21 Chapmanville, 35.6 seconds left here in the third quarter. Chapmanville's increased their halftime lead. It was at 25, or 24 rather.
Yeah, Chapmanville just really putting the exclamation on this game here in the third. And The fourth, I doubt you'll see any of the starters.
Bishop in the right corner. Tough pass up top, but it finds Justice. Down to 20 seconds left in the third. Justice back out front. Haggerty with it over left side for McCoy. McCoy up against Mullins. Drives in baseline. Got free, but couldn't finish at the rim. 10 seconds left in the quarter. Up head to Mullins. Cross midcourt with 5 seconds. Mullins into the paint. Goes up and under. Tries to spin it in, but can't get it to fall. Barry tries to save it, but falls out of bounds with 0.5 of a second to go in the period.
Yeah, in 0.5 of a second here, you'll probably just see Mountain View just toss it in and hold it and get it to the fourth.
They inbound it, no shot attempt, and that will end the third quarter of play as Chapmanville dominates in the third as they lead at 60-21 heading to the final 8 minutes of play here from Danny Gobby Gymnasium as you are watching and listening to the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament with us right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
The holiday sales event is here with unbelievable deals at Thornhill Ford Lincoln. Special gifts for your special someone. 2019 Ford Mustang GT convertible up to $7,000 off, 3 to choose from, and 2019 Ford EcoSport now $18,995.
At Farmer Climate Campbell, we pride ourselves on providing classic service. You get a firm that's concerned about you, your family, as well as the legal process.
We combine the newest technology and digital tools
with our 35 years of experience to help you get more than the insurance company wants to offer.
Traditional service,
contemporary techniques. It'll never go out of style.
Call 346-5990.
Steve, is that your car?
No, it's a rental.
It's SUV season at Thornhill Mitsubishi, serving up 0% APR for 72 months on 2019 Eclipse Cross, $20,770, $7,900 off 2019 Outlander PHEV and 2019 Outlander Sport. Wow, $15,000.
Start of quarter number 4 here from Chapmanville, West Virginia, home of the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush here with you. David Anderson back in the WVOW studios engineering for us, and Joe Mounts here with us on Video Productions. As Chapmanville looking to enter the finals tomorrow night at 8:30 against Beth Haven. They go down low to Hunter Jeffrey to start the fourth quarter, and Hunter Jeffrey continues to dominate us. He's got 9 points now for the game.
I don't know if you mentioned it, but Aaron Stone, our camera operator.
Yes, Aaron Stone, too. I forgot about Stoney up there. And he's hiding out by himself up there at the top of the bleachers.
Probably dying for a cigarette.
Over left side for Bishop, and a timeout called by Gary Brown, a 30-second timeout.
Well, just a reminder that Nationwide Insurance Agent Greg Dalton is a proud supporter of Chapmanville Regional Athletics in the community of Logan County. For auto, home, life, and business insurance, call the Greg Dalton Agency at 304-855-4906. Greg Dalton Insurance, with offices on Main Street in Chapmanville and Main Street in Logan. For all your sides, there is Nationwide. This is WVOW Logan.
Very good, Nathan.
Well, you know, I've done this a time or 10.
62-21. I hate you, Philip Mullins. He loves to come by and mess with me every time he comes by.
What'd he do, call you the lead singer a puddle of mud with the way you're dressed tonight? Good Lord.
I'm sorry. This is what they call fashion, Nathan.
If that's fashion, I'll pass. Thank you.
Maybe I can introduce you to it. But yeah, every time Philip comes by, he loves to mess with me. I love that kid to death. He's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, that time he tried to take my water and tried to drink it.
Well, he's earned it.
Earlier, he tried to slap me on the nose as he went by. It's kind of like the Michael Jordan thing where he'd slap chalk in front of the announcer's face as they went by. Thank goodness they don't have any baby powder in front of here. I'd be doused every time by him.
You probably deserve it.
He's got a fun sense of humor as they give it over right side. 3 on the way, and count it as that one going in for Trey Butcher as he gets in on the act with his first bucket.
Big shot for Butcher there to knock down his first bucket tonight.
65-21, Chapmanville, a 44-point bulge here with 6:45 to go. Here's Bishop, gets to the right elbow, pull-up jumper short, rebounded by Hunter Jeffrey. Gets it over to Fleming, now cross court. Butcher tries to get into the paint, now dishes it back out for Fleming. Over left side as they get it in the left corner. We're getting some of the new faces and names in here for Chapmanville as Isaac Butcher into the game as well. To go down low, Jeffrey with it, powers it up, can't finish this time. Rebound taken away by the Golden Knights.
There's a foul.
Also, Will Kirkendall in the game for the first time for Chapmanville. Now you're going to get Colton Craddock checking back in as Jeffrey will go to the bench. And they're going to get that foul on Isaac Butcher. That'll be his first. And
our man James Barker we haven't heard a word out of him this season in basketball with Logan being on the road so much. We'll get him on the call on January 4th with Joe Linville at Mann Basketball Stadium. The Mann Fieldhouse, whatever you want to call it.
This free throw no good by Bishop, taken away by Chapmanville. It's Fleming with it. Exactly 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. 44-point lead for Chapmanville. They get it cutting to the basket. Lost on the way in by Isaac Butcher, taken away. Here comes Mount View as trying to dribble over the top of the defender is Bailey and put back up and in that time. I believe that was Bishop who got the putback. 65-23 Chapmanville. Here comes Craddock driving in, gets all the way to the basket, and right there is some of that ability we talked about, Nathan, and why the coaching staff feels like he could be someone that can come in and fill up the stat sheets in a hurry.
Yeah, and he did a great job there getting there, kind of a little headache. Nice pass from Mount View.
And finding Bishop underneath for the easy lay-in. Yeah, good court vision that time for the layup.
That was a nice pass, and Bishop was waiting on it.
6 points now for Bishop, 67-25 Chapmanville, 5:10 to go in the contest. Craddock, left wing. Being pressured that time by Bishop. Now goes back out front for Fleming as they reset the offense. Trey Butcher drives in, gives it off to Isaac Butcher, now to Kirkendall. Kirkendall gets to the free throw line as Chapmanville moving the ball well into the left corner. Three on the way, no good by Trey Butcher, but rebounded by Craddock. Back out front for Fleming. And again, all freshmen and sophomores on the court right now except for Fleming, the only junior.
Kind of the team of the future.
Now here comes Craddock, drives in, had it poked away from behind, but it finds Butcher in the left corner. They swing it around now. Craddock will take a deep jumper from the right side, and there's Colton Craddock again for his 8th point.
Nice mid-range jump shot from Craddock there. Good form.
Now up ahead, driving in is Haggerty. He gets all the way to the basket, and he'll lay it in for his first bucket of the game. And Coach Brad Napper not happy with some of the defensive effort from his substitutes into the game right now, as Mount View's been able to get several easy layups in transition, so he takes a quick 30-second timeout.
The man's up 42 and still coaching, so that shows right there what Coach Brad Napper thinks.
69-27, and that's going to bring in 5 new substitutions here for Chapmanville. We saw Preston Smith and Brody Dalton come over late. Also saw Landon Tomlin, a 6-foot freshman, coming over to check in.
That's big for a freshman. And also Coach Napper's son just checked in, apparently.
And Brennan into the game now.
He's checked in on this on our table here about 7 times tonight.
Yeah, Devin Workman, a 5'9 freshman, along with Sam Leslie, a 5'11 sophomore, into the game as well for the first time. So everyone getting into the game here tonight for Chapmanville, all 16 on the roster.
That's a lot of numbers for basketball this year, Chris, because a lot of teams are complaining that their numbers are down, and Chapmanville's got 16.
As I said, that tends to be a problem on most ends in most sports anymore, is just keeping high numbers. You know, where I even coach tennis, you see a lot of teams that have trouble getting enough in, so if you're able to get 6 on both sides, everybody wants to know what's your secret.
Yeah.
As Leslie gets it up top, Workman, he'll take a straight on 3, no good off the side of the rim. Rebound comes down. Taken away by Mount View is Jalen Hall, 5'10 freshman into the game for the Golden Knights. Goes coast to coast, can't finish around the rim as rebound goes out of bounds. They say last touch by Mount View.
3:42 to go, 69-27. The Tigers cruising to a win tonight.
And again, they'll take on Beth Haven tomorrow night at 8:30. It'll be Mount View taking on Woodland Hills in the consolation game at 7 o'clock. As Dalton drives in, kicks it into the corner for Tomlin. Now up top, pass tipped in the air, stolen away. As good defense that time by the Golden Knights as they get up the floor. Over on the left side is Vineyard. Now they go cross court. Out the top of the key for TJ Bell, 6'5 sophomore, drives in left side, gets to the basket, can't finish. Gets his own rebound though. Bell again can't finish, tries the right side. This time converts and is fouled. So a couple of offensive rebounds and now an and one opportunity for TJ Bell.
Yeah, and that's Coach Navler can't be happy with that.
69-29 now, Chapmanville. Mountview trying to crack 30 here and able to do so. As Matthew Thompson also into the game for Mountview. So both coaches emptying their benches here in the final moments here as we hit 3 minutes to go. Ryan Long, the 5'11 freshman, also in for Mountview.
Chapmanville probing the defense.
And Brody Dalton, how did that happen? He took a right corner three and banked it in. How do you hit that angle? He could shoot that 1,000 more times and not get that to happen.
He smiled about it going down the court. He's like, well, I didn't mean to, but it worked.
Shot inside, no good by Bell that time. But, yeah, that's whenever you know it's your night. As they go down low, laser pass, able to find Devin Workman, kicks it out. Leslie goes for three, and Leslie able to connect. Actually, they say no, just on the line. A two-pointer for Sam Leslie, but he gets in on the act.
Chapmanville's just got outside shooting all the way up and down their bench, Chris.
I believe that's now 11 Tigers that have scored here tonight. Overall, as ball kicked out of bounds, it'll stay with Mountview with 2:17 remaining. 74-30, Chapmanville in control. As a lot of the patrons start to file out here.
Well, that's good news for us. Not a lot of traffic.
They get it in. Corner shot, no good, off the mark that time by Jalen Hall. Now a chance for Chapmanville, up head to Dalton, drives in right side, misses on the short-range jumper, and rebound taken away by Mountview. We hit 2 minutes exactly to play now. Hall on the left wing, able to dribble drive in. Again, stutter stepped and got all the way to the basket, and he's into the scorebook.
Nice move by Hall to get there and put one in, as Coach Navler going to put in a few more players.
Now they get it back up top for Leslie. Over left side for Workman into the left corner. Down to 1:40 to go. Top of the key for Leslie. Over to Preston Smith. He head fakes, drives in, can't finish, and a whistle and a foul on the way in with 1:33 to go. As you'll see 3 new Tigers check in here as we have Colton Craddock, Kirkendall, as well as Isaac. No, excuse me, it's not Isaac. It's checking back in. Can never find the number that you want to find. Trey Butcher, there we go.
Hey, don't you work here?
I was going to say, it's just finding these numbers sometimes, I mean, you feel like a complete idiot. I tell it sometimes in class that I got 2 college degrees and it's basically worth nothing. It's like I'm still an idiot.
Wow. And no one jumping into my inbox telling me otherwise. So.
And I don't blame him. It's Preston Smith able to convert on the first. As he's got 7 points now for the contest.
75-32, the Tigers lead with a minute and a half to go.
Just dribbling in, and a double dribble called on Mountview as that was Hall unable to control it. Down to a minute 28 to play as Devin Workman will bring it up the floor. 5'9 freshman gets it over to Will Kirkendall. Now back out to Workman. He'll dribble into the center, over to Kirkendall. Now they go baseline, back out to Kirkendall. Thought about a three. Takes it into the right corner. Now skips it cross court for Leslie. Leslie on the drive, kicks it to Butcher. Now back to Kirkendall. Goes down baseline. Layup attempt, no good. Rebounded though by Craddock. Kicks it back. Mid-range jumper and count it there for Trey Butcher.
Nice jump shot from Butcher. Good form. Open look, knocks it down. And you still can't find number 4 on this sheet, can you?
Find his stupid number. Out front, 77-32. Chapmanville leads it. Inside, floater up, no good, but rebounded and put back up by Vineyard as he gets his first 2 of the game. Under 40 seconds to go. 77-34 as Chapmanville has more than doubled up this Mountview team here tonight. So they're going to be on their way to 4-1.
Yeah, and I don't see too many shots getting taken here. Tigers will dribble out the clock and head back home tonight with a win.
And again, back-to-back state titles. 3 straight trips to the state championship game, 3 straight 20-win seasons, and now it's going to be 50 wins in a row for this Chapmanville team against West Virginia opponents as the crowd rises to their feet and begins to applaud as Obina gives us a salute on the way by, and the Chapmanville Tigers take it 77-34 to 34 tonight, as Philip Mullins tells me I'm the best as he goes by.
I don't think that's what he said. But
tonight from Chapmanville, West Virginia, as they head into the state championship, the finals of the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament here tomorrow against Beth Haven Christian. Well, we'll step aside for a 2-minute break and be back after this as Chapmanville wins it by 43. You are listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger basketball action with us right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Think that after an accident, you'll have to pay $500 for your deductible. The truth, at Allstate, you could pay $0. Allstate gives you $100 off your deductible the day you sign up. Then another $100 off every year you don't have an accident. Let the good hands reward your safe driving with a deductible that goes away. Now that you know the truth, are you in good hands?
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider, offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They are the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, Logan, and Mingo counties with its own crematory. For more information, contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
Logan Physical Therapy wants to help you. Have you been injured at work or in an accident? Come to Logan Physical Therapy and Doug Hibbs will provide a thorough, careful evaluation and create a comprehensive treatment program that will get you back on your feet. Logan Physical Therapy, turning setbacks into comebacks.
I'm Tanya Crubb, Director of Acute Inpatient Rehab, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wright, Surgical Podiatrist from Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
I'm Romel Mitchell, Executive Secretary, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Thank you for trusting your care at
Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
77-34 the final here from Danny Godby Gymnasium as the Chapmanville Tigers pick up the win over the Mount View Golden Knights. And now we're going to go ahead and get to the Temp Control Hot Hand of the game, brought to you by Temp Control of Chapmanville. And tonight's hot hand goes to Philip Mullins. Philip Mullins, the man that gets the Temp Control Hot Hand Award of the game. He finishes the game with 18 points in the ball game. So Philip Mullins, your Temp Control Hot Hand Player of the game.
Sorry, I was saying hi to fans as they come by here.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, everybody congratulating me on a good game and telling me how great all
Dear
was.
Lord.
Especially Philip. Philip's my number one fan as he went by earlier. I tell you, it's hard being a celebrity.
I tell you what, Nathan. I need boots. It's getting deep in here. But this winter,
what was funny?
You put the liner away before I could finish reading what I had to read.
You stopped reading.
Well, you jumped back on to brag on yourself. This winter, if you want your home to be as comfortable as possible, call Stuart Trickler and Roland Mullins at Temp Control of Chapmanville at 304-855-5200. So Philip Mullins is your Temp Control Hot Hand Player of the game tonight.
Yeah, a little funny one, too, from Woodland Hills again. I think they hadn't seen this setup before, what we do with WVOW and Video Productions here, and so they were kind of asking us questions, and I guess the Woodland Hills coach had kind of heard some of the broadcast as they went back to the locker room after they almost made that great comeback, and he came over and just wanted to look at the score sheet. I let him see it, and then he wrote a little letter, and, was congratulating us on a good broadcast, but I thought that he wrote scumbag at first.
He did.
Paper that he handed back to me, and then I thought it said, you are a very talented scumbag, and I was like, wait a minute.
That's correct. That's correct. But over on the
but it was not scumbag. But I was like, well, I've been called worse.
Looks like scumbag to me. Let's go to our Video Productions Farmer Clyde and Campbell Player of the game, as Chris is just goofing off while I'm working.
Yeah, so sorry, Nathan.
We're going to go with tonight's tonight's Farmer Clyde and Campbell Player of the game. Obina and a Chile killing. You'll see her on our Video Productions replay show with the alley-oop, and Obina finishes attacking the rim. Farmer, Klein, and Campbell player of the game. Brought to you, of course, by the law offices of Farmer, Klein, and Campbell.
So again, Philip Mullins, our player of the game on Tim Control here on WVOW. Obina here on Farmer, Klein, and Campbell on Video Productions. Let's run through the final scoring on both sides. We'll start with Mountain View. They were led by Brendan Rottenberry with 7 points, Zach McCoy with 7 points, Malachi Bishop with 6 points. Then you had a grab bag after that with TJ Bell with 3, you had Vineyard with 2, Hall with 2, Jackson with 2, Bailey with 2, and Haggerty with 2, and Fultner finishing with 1 point to round out the scoring for Mountain View. On the other end for Chapmanville, led by Philip Mullins, who led all scorers with 18 points. Ironically, Philip Mullins the only player to get into double figures tonight on either team, again with those 18 points. Chapmanville had 11 of 16 players score here tonight. Then you had Obina with 9 points, Scholl with 9 points, Hunter Jeffrey with 9 points, Colton Craddock with 8, Preston Smith with 7, Brody Dalton with 5, Trey Butcher with 5, Isaiah Smith with 3 points, then Chase Berry and Sam Leslie each with 2 points to round out the scoring. Well, we'll step aside for our final break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about tomorrow's matchups here from the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament as you are listening to and watching Chapmanville basketball action with us right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Tanya Crubb, Director of Acute Inpatient Rehab, Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Wright, surgical podiatrist from Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
I'm Romel Mitchell, Executive Secretary. Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Thank you for trusting your care at
Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Peyton, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide helps protect everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
(77-34) the final as Chapmanville takes down Mount View. Chapmanville in the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament. Moving on to the finals, as I've completely just had to take over the broadcast.
Sorry, Nathan. I told you the fans they want more Chris Kidd. They have to keep coming over and talking to me. I don't know what to do.
Fans.
I can't turn them away.
Okay.
Now they're talking about how fashionable I am. I mean, it's just first how great I am on the air, how fashionable. I mean, it's just, the ego is going to be through the roof leaving here tonight,
You look
Nathan.
like the lead singer of Skillet.
After all this bragging I've done, my car's going to fall apart into 12 pieces on the way out here tonight. Just the way of keeping you in check.
Yeah, really. Did you ever get your heater and air conditioner fixed? No. Anyway, tomorrow, Chris, let's look at the game.
You got $900. You can fix it. I know Pam Bush thinks that I've got all the money in the world to fix that, but I said, you know what, Pam, you got $900. You can fix that for me. I'm okay with that.
Well, now the cops are over here looking for you.
Yeah, I know. I got Craig Johnson ready to arrest me after all this.
But looking forward to tomorrow's game. Chapmanville takes on the Beth Haven Hornets tomorrow in the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament final. We're looking forward to that ball game, and the tip of that game will start immediately following the Mount View Woodland High game. So we'll be here on Video Productions for that. On WVOW, we'll have the Chapmanville Beth Haven final.
Yeah, and again, that'll be an interesting matchup. Again, we got Dante Adams that played at Logan for a couple.
Devontae, but close.
They got it as Dante.
They're wrong
on the scorebook, and I had him in class. So,
well, okay, maybe it is.
You got Dante Adams that did play at Logan. Then you've got Matthew and Andy Spalding that played a little at Mann last couple of years, and now back down here. So you will have some familiar names on that Beth Haven club whenever you listen in tomorrow. They played a great first half tonight, but then Woodland Hills almost came back from 25 down to win that game. Again, cut it to 2 as the final horn sounded, but Beth Haven able to do just enough to hang on, get 6-5 on the year. Going to be a tough task for them tomorrow night, but again, it is a talented Beth Haven club. They are the leaders in the Christian A standings right now. Did get state champions out of the Christian ranks last year. So again, this is a legit Beth Haven program that Chapmanville's going up against tomorrow.
And they've got size, they've got some great shooting, some talent. So be a fun broadcast tomorrow.
Yeah, again, we'll be with you on WVOW at approximately 8:30 with the tip-off between Chapmanville and Beth Haven here from the finals of the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament. But for tonight, the Chapmanville Tigers romp their way to the finals with a 77-34 win over the Mount View Golden Knights. So for Joe Mounds here on Video Productions, for David Anderson back in the WVOW studios, for Nathan Bush, I'm Chris Kidd saying good night from Chapmanville, West Virginia, as you have been listening to and watching the Bob Runyon Memorial Holiday Tournament with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.